What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video part. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because in this video we'll be taking a look at a film that really captivated the world of science and exploration, The Martian. So this movie came out back in 2015 and it was one of those movies that was really interesting to me, but I never got a chance to watch it when it first came out in theaters. Fast forward to the time when it first came out on rental, and after being recognized for so many awards, I was so hyped for this film, and after watching it, I was just blown away. So like I said, this movie came out back in 2015 and follows a group of astronauts who've been sent to Mars for a scientific mission, but due to unfortunate circumstances, one of their own, astronaut Mark Watney, is accidentally left for dead on the Red Planet. However, it's not that long until the audience realizes that Watney is still alive and he is stranded on Mars with zero chance of getting back home. And it's right here where you start to see this character go through a lot of emotions as you start to see him processing the situation that he is currently in. There's a sense of relief that he feels knowing that he is still alive even though everyone thinks he's dead. He also feels alone knowing that his crew left him behind. He even feels a sense of dread knowing that at any point he could die on this planet. While it's not gonna dampen his spirits as he pretty much accepts the challenges that have been laid out before him and starts thinking of a game plan that'll help him live on Mars until the next Mars mission arrives in 4 years. And that's one of the things I liked about this film, is that the story really dives into the science as we see Watney work out several problems like learning how to establish communication with NASA and even learn how to grow crops on Mars. Seriously, after watching this film, I'm almost tempted to grow potatoes in my backyard. But going back to the film, I remember watching a top 10 video where they were ranking a lot of science fiction films based on the smartest choices that the main characters made. And as it turns out, The Martian made that list, where the video pointed out that Watney pretty much made every smart choice in that movie. That's pretty cool, knowing that this is a movie where the main character is not leaving anything to chance and is really making the smart choices throughout the entire story. Because normally, most movies like to foreshadow certain moments where the character will overlook a problem, but later on in the plot, those problems will definitely come back to haunt them. But here, Watney managed to do everything right. Now there is one little hiccup that happens in the second act of the film, but that was not his fault. Now even though Watney manages to do a lot of things right, that doesn't mean that there's no tension in this story. Throughout the course of the film, we're not only watching Watney try to figure out a way to survive on Mars, but we're also watching the people of NASA also try to figure out a way to get him home. And I love how the overall message of the film is to show you that there is no obstacle big enough that you cannot solve. Yes, I know that this is a science fiction film, but the message can still be applied to any obstacle that you may come across later on in life. In the words of Mark Watney, you do the math, you solve one problem after another, and after solving enough problems, then you can celebrate. Speaking of math, calculating the amount of time that Watney spent on Mars in comparison to Earth days, he was on that planet for about 1.5 years. That's also another thing that I liked about this film, is how it portrays the passage of time. Throughout the film, we were watching the number of days just climb up as Watney spends a lot of good time in this film just traveling across Mars. Now, while there are a lot of time jumps throughout the course of the film, the movie does provide several humorous moments in order to make sure the story is not being stretched too long. Which is crazy because I did not expect to see a lot of funny moments throughout the entire movie, and what's even more crazy is that some people consider this as a sci-fi comedy. But I guess you sort of need that humor coming from the main character, because if you followed someone else who was stranded on Mars who was more in distress, then this film would have been a lot more depressing. So overall, I really love watching this movie. It has humor, which plays perfectly in balancing out the more dramatic moments of the film, and in a weird sort of way, this movie sort of educates you. And yes, this movie is pretty much Castaway in space, but you know what? This film is still very entertaining to watch. So if you're looking for something to watch tonight, I highly recommend you watch this film. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review for The Martian. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can always updates from this channel. I'll see you all next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.